And in our next segment, understanding taxes in Sri Lanka, economic experts say that the government should focus on including high-income earners into the tax net and increase export or rather import taxes on luxury goods without increasing indirect taxes such as value-added tax, which burdens the majority of low-income earners. We have Professor Vasantha Attukorla who joins us on the segment tonight.
When they are designing the tax, they are probably considering only the revenue objective. But if you look at the income tax, it has increased a little bit. Present contribution is like 28%. And also good and services tax, its contribution is like 58% out of total. If you increase the indirect tax in a particular economy, that means even poor people have to pay the tax. Probably it will increase the income distribution in a particular economy. Now, Sri Lanka needs to take into account these factors when we are designing a tax system to our country. But policymakers, unfortunately, they are not considering those things. At the moment, we know that government needs revenue. Government expenditure is very high and income is very low. As a result, there is a big gap between revenue and the expenditure. This led to increase the borrowing. Increase in borrowing means at the end of the day, the unsustainability of the financial system will increase. It will lead to the unsustainability of the entire economy. Out of total expenditure, a significant amount has to be allocated to pay the interest. Interest bill is very high in the economy. Therefore, government has to cut down or decrease the other expenses. Say, for example, expenditure on education, expenditure on health system, and expenditure on infrastructure development. Rather than increasing tax rate, there are so many other aspects that we need to think about in order to increase the government revenue. Government can include more and more people into the system, right? This inclusion is very important. At the moment, there are so many people who can pay that, but they are not paying that. This inclusion is extremely important. You can increase the inclusion while decreasing the tax rate. That is another aspect that government needs to think. At the same time, this imports duties has decreased rapidly over the last few years because we are importing more and more commodities to Sri Lanka. In order to control these things, you can increase at the imports duties at least for the luxury goods.